I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2010 Year in Review session. I'm really pleased to see a lot of people here, still a few people coming in. My name is Jim Stathis, in case you can't read. These Year in Review seminars provide a summary of some of the most significant developments in the reliability area over the past year and are intended to give you a way to keep current with the recent reliability literature. Putting these seminars together involves a lot of work, not for me, but for the people who are speaking. Typically, they read hundreds of papers, literally, and select top 20 or 30 of those to highlight during their talk. This is the seventh. My introduction. This is the seventh year that we've held the Year in Review at IRPS, and shown here are all the topics that we've offered over the past few years, 7 years. I'd like you to really take a look at this list and think about topics that you'd like to have covered next year, and give me your suggestions on the feedback form, which you should have received with your registration. If you didn't receive it, they're available at the registration area. Gate dielectrics and back-end interconnects and dielectrics are, of course, the core areas of IRPS, and we have 2 seminars on those 2 areas today. Other topics are covered at irregular intervals, depending basically on the discretion of the organizer and the availability and willingness of expert speakers. So this year I looked back at the topics that hadn't been covered recently and decided to cover failure analysis, which we haven't seen for 5 years, and also the areas of nanotechnology and device physics, so taken together as sort of a nano CMOS topic. So here's this afternoon's agenda. We're going to run straight through for 4 hours. I hope the speakers will leave a little time for questions and clarification at the end, but if not, I'm going to keep us on schedule and yank you off the stage. You have the full bios of the speakers on the CD-ROM. Hopefully you got that. So I'm not going to go take the time from their time to read them in detail. I'll just give brief introductions to each speaker before their talks. Just first, let me outline what we have. First, Jason Campbell of NIST will cover gate dielectrics, including BTI, hot carriers, breakdown, and a little bit on memories and alternative channel materials. Next, Fen Chen from IBM will cover interconnects, including breakdown, electromigration, stress migration, process effects, air gap, and through silicon via. And the next 2 talks will cover a little more than just the last year in review, because these topics haven't been reviewed every year. First, Philippe Perdue from CNES will discuss recent advances in failure analysis, including fault isolation, defect localization, sample prep, and defect characterization. And finally, looking back over several years as well as a little bit into the near future, Shinichi Takagi from the University of Tokyo will discuss nano CMOS devices and the challenges that they pose for reliability, including advanced SOI devices, 3D devices such as FinFETs and Trigates and nanowires, advanced strain technology, new channel materials, graphene devices, and the emerging families of steep subthreshold slope devices and spintronic devices.